good evening. Sorry I'm a bit late. I was doing my sound check with Roger, and I'm trying to say, right, I'm going to go live now, and he's telling me I need to go live and that everybody's waiting for me, but we're speaking over each other. So it was like, what? How is everyone? How's your week been? All good, I hope. Let's get back on there. Don't know if anybody's coming to join us tonight. I've dropped the link in for Jen if she wants to, and Holly if she wants to. But I know Holly's going to be quite busy doing things tonight, so I don't know if she's got a chance. Missy, do you want to come and join me? Do you want me to send the link over to you, or are you happy sat in the background? We haven't heard from you for a while. You've been missing in action. Would you like to come and join? There's our Jen. Just getting connected. There's our Jen. There we go. Good evening, my dear. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks. I only just found out that you were on. I only just found out that you were on. I was searching the YouTube and there it was. Didn't get any notification that you were going to be on.
Well, Missy says she'll pop up tonight and join us, so bear with me while find her. There we go. And post and send the link over to Lizzie. Was that my phone? Oh yeah, I'm live. Woohoo! Hey, at least it's working. At least it's working.
Ah, that's something, isn't it?
Oh, there we go. And that's dripping everywhere. Oh, it's been one of those. I went out shopping. I was still awake at stupid o'clock this morning. And Roger shouts up, do you want a cup of coffee? And I'm like, no, it's too early. It's only 7:30. I'm going to see if I can drop back off to sleep. Give me an hour. So about 3 hours later, he comes up with a cup of coffee. He says, I thought you'd have been up and out by now. But because I haven't slept, I've managed to go back off. And I'm like, oh. So half the morning was lost. I'm not moaning at you, babe. Not moaning at you. I'm just, it is what it is. Yeah, Missy, I've sent you the link, usual way via Facebook Messenger. So I go out, do my bits and pieces, get what I need. I've forgotten half the stuff I went out for. Come back.
As you do.
Mumbled around the house, bits and pieces, cooked tea, got set up for this. Dealt with a couple of emails where, oh, we need this and we need that for the job. And I complained to Sheila's Wheels and they've dismissed my complaint. So I had to sit and do a strongly worded email because they said, we believe it's all settled. You're happy? I'm like, I'm off happy. Where you get that idea from? So let's have Lizzie up.
Yeah. How's the job going?
It's going to be a while before I hear back. I won't start till for about another month. They've got to do, because it's dealing with less able. There's mentally disabled as well. So I've got to go through DBS check to make sure I'm not going to do anything I shouldn't. So that's going to take at least 3 weeks because they can't put me in. Sorry?
Even on voluntary?
What do you mean on voluntary?
I thought you were doing this voluntary.
No.
And you're not getting involved with the people. You're doing it all from home, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so why do you need that check if you're not getting involved with people? I thought it was only when you were
because you can still take advantage of them via email.
True, that's true, yeah.
dealing with their finances.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
That's
running
true.
payrolls for these people, so I'm dealing with their money. And
Yeah.
in some cases, it's a managed payroll, so you have access to bank details and you make payments
Yeah, I
for
get
them
it.
and everything else. It's not just sit at home and yeah. So no, I totally understand. I've got to have a DBS, but
Yeah.
that takes about 3
I,
weeks. So
yeah.
I'm
I was
hoping before the end of November. Hi Lizzie, how you doing?
Hi, Heather. Hi, Jenny. Can you hear me?
okay.
Yes, darling.
Yes.
Okay. Um, I'm doing much better this week.
Oh,
I'm
what's been
feeling
wrong?
a few different bits and pieces, but like Roger, I've just been diagnosed with COPD. So
Oh,
um, I've had all that kind of thing. I've got a few other things wrong with me, but nothing, nothing, nothing that
Mm,
I can't deal with. Let's put it that way.
yeah.
Um, but no, I'm feeling
Stay
much
strong.
happier, much brighter, and I was just listening to what Heather said about her job because I, I'd understood that Heather had got a new job, but I hadn't actually realised what it was. So I'm guessing you're some kind of financial advocate, Heather.
no, what it is, if it all goes through okay, because I've got to chase up my references and things like that. It's all a proviso at the moment, but it's a charity that look after payrolls for less able people of all sorts of walks of life and everything else who get direct payments to help them with carers, cleaners, whatever. And it's what I've done for 20 years. It's payroll, but it's making sure that their employees are paid correctly. So minimum wage, sick pay, all of that is correct. And maternity, should that arise. If they're entitled to go into a pension, all of that is happening and all of that is correct. So yeah, that's about all I know at the moment. There's obviously a bit more to it, but I've done payroll for 20 years, so it's just this same thing, different company.
It
But
sounds like excuse me. It sounds like it's right up your street then.
well, it should be. It should be, but it's going to mean a lot of little payrolls. Um, so lots of bits and pieces, and dealing with quite a few people, and um,
Oh, absolutely.
but yeah, the DBS check is obviously because some of these people might be a little bit vulnerable.
Mm,
Um, I may not be dealing with anybody that's a little bit vulnerable. They might all be, um, you know, uh, very able people mentally, but it's even though I'm not hands on with them because I'm advising them on minimum on these things, these statutory things, the minimum wage and everything else. They don't know, so it's part of the company rules.
Well, I hope it
Uh,
works out, and I hope it's something that
but
you
yeah,
end up enjoying.
busy.
it should be good.
Mm, yeah.
Yes, look, I was trying to be aware.
Mm. If
So,
it's a type of thing you enjoy, then
No, I hate
all
it.
well and good.
No, seriously, I've done payroll for 20 years and I got to the stage where I wanted something different. So um, it is what it is, though. It's what I know. Um, but yeah, we'll wait and see. So I've still got to jump through hoops. I'm not going to start work till mid to late November earliest. So
Mm,
How's everyone? What else?
How's
Stuart?
things with you, Jenny?
Pardon?
How's things with you?
I'm okay, thank you. I've come to a bit of a realization that I won't be able to, start a business with jewelry and stuff like I wanted to, because, well, that's what's been causing my headaches and migraines, is making the jewelry. So I've had
All
to take a
the
step back.
concentration, you mean, that you need for it?
Well, the beads I use are very, very tiny, and I use a magnifying lens,
Yeah.
and that's too strong for my eyes, and I can't work without it. So I've taken a step back. For nearly a week now, I've not done anything on jewelry, and my head's been fine. So
Well,
yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that, because it would have been, a nice, not only a pastime, but a nice little business.
it would have, but I'm not going to stop altogether because I love making stuff. It's
Have
just,
you tried stronger lenses rather than the?
well, because of my eyes the way they are, I've got to be careful.
Okay.
Because
It's all right. When I was doing close-up work, mine
yeah,
were only readers.
yeah. Well, I've got readers, and the magnifying lenses are on top of the readers, because the readers aren't as strong. Even though he gave me stronger lenses last time, they weren't that strong, as strong. That's why I got the magnifiers, but they're a bit too strong.
But if these are off the shelf readers,
Yeah,
but if I could wear them that way around, I see totally different to looking through them that way around. The lenses are cheap and nasty. You may find
yeah.
it's one of the lenses isn't proper
Mm.
done properly, so might be worth asking your optician to get some even strong, not readers, but magnifiers for close-up work
Yeah,
that are correct for your eyes. You'll be able to continue doing it then.
yeah. But because I've even got, the magnifying lamp. I've even got one of them, and
But that's too
oh,
much.
yeah, I'll turn. Well, sometimes because my eyes get too blurry, even with the lenses, they'll, over time they'll be okay when I start, but over time they get blurry. So I just don't know what to do.
So it's just your eyes are getting tired
Well,
with whatever
yeah,
you're doing, basically. Doesn't matter
yeah,
whether it's magnifiers, a
yeah.
magnifying
But
glass, or
I'm supposed to have like monocular lenses because my eyes don't work together.
which is why I suggested speaking to the optician about getting
Well,
some
that it's the
ultra
optician.
magnifiers.
It's the optician that doesn't want to give me the glasses until last stitch kind of thing, because they are horrible. I've tried them. They are horrible to get used to. And
Have you
he
got
has said that.
have you got a strong prescription, Jenny, on your
Pardon?
normal glass? Have you got a strong prescription on your normal glasses?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Uh, If you don't mind me asking, what, just roughly, I mean, what are you, a -6, 7?
I've no idea.
Oh, okay.
I don't, take notice of them, like, but yeah, it's something that was like diagnosed last year after 44 years of suffering. So
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got issues. This one's deteriorating faster than this one. So I have to keep going back. And now I can't even watch the television without glasses.
Yeah.
Not without it being blurry.
I was quite surprised that you said that those glasses. Well, I wasn't surprised, but you picked up those glasses, Heather, and you said they were off the shelf.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be very strong prescription. Are your eyes quite good then?
They used to be. I used to have 20/20 vision.
I've never understood that, to be honest.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've never understood that expression. Sorry.
I don't know where 20/20 comes from. But yeah, it didn't matter whether I was working on something in front of my nose or looking at a plane in the sky. I could see it.
Wow.
So I didn't need glasses for anything. Then as I found that as I was reading, I needed to get further and further away to be able to focus on it properly. And then if the writing was too small, I needed it closer and I couldn't focus. So, and then I got to the point where my arm wasn't long enough. I'm holding it out here and I still can't focus. So yeah, I went to off-the-shelf glasses, off-the-shelf readers. Now, about there on the screen now, I can focus with these. So I could read a book with these. These are those are 2, I think, or 2.5. Those must be 2 because these are 2.5. And these are my work glasses. They're for looking at computer screens and whatever else. And then I've now ended up going down the bifocal road so that I can see the telly and look at my phone or read a book, because I can't do one thing at a time. I can't only do one thing at a time. I tend to do 2 things at a time. So yes, I'll be watching what's going on the telly. Good evening, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Yeah, but the thing is, you need the bifocals, because if you're doing something on your tablet or your laptop, you need to keep an eye on Roger down the end of the room.
Well, yeah,
as well.
Yeah, I can't let him out of my sight. But I've got a pair. I think they're downstairs, which were my old readers, because I used to wear them like that.
I do. That's how I wear mine.
Watching telly but I cannot read a thing on that screen now in front of me. Not a word. It's so blurred.
See, I've got I've always had long eyelashes, so I can't have my glasses too close to my eyes. So I wear them halfway down my nose anyway. So, but I've been wearing glasses since I was 3.
Me. I've got super long eyelashes.
No, honestly, no, I don't mean
to.
It's a genetic thing. Even my brother's got long eyelashes. Look,
that's even worse. A boy with long lashes.
Now, it's not all good. I've hardly got any eyebrows these days. So, but
hello.
But I can't I can't push my glasses up too far. So they're always perched on the end of my nose.
Yeah, I've got one eye that's long-sighted and the other that's short-sighted.
Oh, wow, that must be really difficult when you haven't got your glasses on.
Oh, God, yeah. But on the plus point, I can look at magic pictures okay.
I've never been able to work them out.
Yeah. And sometimes, and this is when I've not got my glasses on, if I'm looking at, say, a patterned curtain or carpet, it just looks as if some things are jumping out at me like 3D.
Oh my God.
Roger obviously wants to make a point.
Oh dear. Ah!
He's only
Looks like something from
he's
Star.
only trying to prove he's got more glasses than me. But that's just what I've got around me.
Wow, don't you get
Upstairs.
confused and like, where have I left this one and where have I left that one? And I've only got 2 and that's bad enough.
Because these are so similar. I come upstairs, I'm working on the computer, I'll put these on. The ones I've got downstairs for the computer are wireframed. So I know those are different and they feel different on my face. But there's not a lot between them really. They're slightly different shape. But I get downstairs and I sit down and I go to watch telly and I'm like, you've got the wrong glasses on, you've left the others upstairs. You know when you want to disappear again.
You know when you don't wear glasses full time, but like say you just got a pair on your head,
like I used to be, yeah.
And when you take them off, you put them on your head, don't you? Or most people do. I used to work with this woman that actually used to put them on her chin, and I don't. It was really weird. She used to take them off and put them there,
like that.
Yeah.
You don't forget where they are. At that point, when they're there, it's like wearing a hairband. You become accustomed to it and forget it's there. The other thing that happens is you nod your head, they fall off the back, and they snap, which is what happened to those.
Oh no.
So those are my spare. Need some sort of weld applied to them or something, but I can at least use them.
Yeah, the optician has told me I can't wear contact lenses because of the shape of my eyes. I've got astigmatism as well, but the optician has told me I can have a laser eye surgery, which is going to cost a bomb.
No, Jenny, I've got astigmatism and I've worn contact lenses. I mean, right, 20 years ago, I was wearing contact lenses. You can wear them.
Well, I've been told no, I can't wear them because my eyes are shaped like a rugby ball.
Yeah, so am I. But yeah, you can.
I've got this one.
Well, I've been told no, so
well,
because I've wanted to have contact lenses, and my son, he's got astigmatism as well, and he's been told the same.
Well, the other thing is I mean, obviously I don't know your optician, but obviously they're probably going to want you to do the laser eye surgery because they probably get a cut out of it or something. You know, it's more expensive. But no, definitely you can definitely wear contact lenses with astigmatism because I've done it.
Yeah, I've just Googled it. Contact lenses for astigmatism. For clear and comfortable vision with contact lenses, discover now. That's AccuView.
Exactly, so, AccuView, yes.
I'll ask him next time.
Because I've never quite understood how it works. Because the next pair of glasses I'm going to get, I'm going to try varifocal.
I've got varifocal, and the sides, you get used to them, but it's just the sides get a bit blurry until you get used to them. But they are good.
I'm getting on that fine with me bifocals. That's not an issue, except when I'm doing something in the kitchen or I want to do something on the computer just quickly, because they're wrong. They are the wrong focal length for the computer. That is, it's too close. So I've got to back off to get it to focus about there. And then that I've got to be right up, about here. So I'm going to think about varifocals. But I don't quite understand how they put all of that into a contact lens that can turn in your eye.
Yeah. Yeah, the reason I wanted to use contact lenses is because the AccuView is meant to be softer, isn't it?
Yes.
A softer lens. But yeah, I was told that I couldn't have it. But
Google it. Make sure, check what it says online, and then go back to the optician and say, "This is what it says online. Why are you telling me I can't have contact?"
Yeah, I'll be going in a few months anyway, beginning of next year.
But I'd go in and say you need some crafting glasses.
Well,
because if you've got your prescription, I don't know which one you use, but I mean Specsavers, you can get a pair of glasses for 15 quid. Okay, I know it's not Poundland or sorry?
Specsavers.
Yeah, you can get a pair of glasses for 15 quid.
Not in our Specsavers. I can get one free, which start now these days. They start about 60 quid.
My pair downstairs were 15 quid.
I get mine on NHS at Specsavers. Normally, I get 2 pairs at a time, a normal pair and a reading pair. Sorry if I'm out of breath. My lungs run out. But this time, because I only needed a pair for the computer to try and sort my headaches out, they put my 2 vouchers together, and I just got 1 pair with the anti-glare and that on for the computer. And they focal lengthed them for. I measured the distance between my face and the computer screens, and they set them at that length for me.
I think that also depends, Roger, depending on the strength of your prescription at that price.
No.
The cheapest ones they do in Specsavers at the moment. Ignore what's on that screen there. If you go into the shop, the cheapest ones are about 25 quid.
Well, I went into the shop not too long ago and I got some £15 glasses.
Yes, and that's what they were, but they've gone up, darling, since then. When I went in to get these.
They're still advertising glasses from £15.
Now,
I won't get one
go in there and try and get them
start from £60.
Yeah, that's the expensive range.
No, it's not. The expensive range is 90.
No, there's 3.
I've got a -7 and a -8 prescription. And that's quite high, and I've never been able to get glasses at that price.
I've got minus.
It doesn't matter on the glasses; it's the lenses.
Yeah, and if you get you get varifocals are extra on top of what you pay.
Well, yeah, I
Yes.
I don't think I'd get on with bifocals or varifocals. I'd be looking up and down all the time.
But what I'm saying, Jen, is if you need a pair of crafting glasses so that you've got the correct magnification and the correct prescription, in Specsavers, you should be able to get a pair for £15.
Yeah, I'll go and have a look at that actually. Because
you're not talking varifocal or bifocal or anything like that. You want specific for close-up work.
Yeah.
You love your crafting. You should be able to do it. And because you haven't got the right glasses and getting headaches should not be a reason for not doing it.
Do you claim any benefits, Jen?
Yeah, I do get vouchers.
You do get vouchers, right?
But
your vouchers.
I'm still having to pay the varifocals and stuff.
Yeah, you will.
If anything's extra,
for those, but for single lenses, don't matter if they're different. But for normal lenses, you can get 2 pairs on your vouchers. That's how much they're worth from the NHS. up to, I think it's £35 each frames.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, blimey,
Well,
I've been ripped off then.
well,
Because that's what I do.
Last
But
time,
if you do what I did, babe, and have bifocals, you can only get one pair free, which is why I know the pair of glasses downstairs cost me 15 quid, because I only wanted them for using the computer. So I went with the cheapest ones. And then if I wanted to go up to varifocals, it was another 60 or 80 pound or something like that on the top. So, but I could still do that with a 15 pound lens, £15 frame. But you can only use your vouchers every 2 years?
every year.
I didn't even know there were vouchers.
No, they
If you're getting
try to
benefits,
test you
yeah.
every 2 years, but you're entitled to the vouchers every year.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I am.
every
I am
year
on
because-
benefits, Jenny.
Yeah, you're entitled to benefit to vouchers, and
You just need
I
to go
get
in and tell them.
because
Oh.
I've been told that I have to go every year because my prescription alters slightly every year.
I think I better look. I
So-
think I better look into this because I daren't tell you how much the glasses I'm wearing cost me now.
And they're
I mean,
more
it
than
was-
Keir Starmer's.
Well, at the moment, I don't know how much Keir Starmer's were, but these were. Well, I don't even want to
These
say
were over
because
500-600 quid a pair.
Yeah. I worked with a girl who spent £700 on a pair of glasses. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
It's like, well, they're designer frames. They're this, they're that. They're Reactolite. They're...
oh, I hate those
Reactolite,
Reactolite things.
I can understand the Reactolite.
Reactolite and varifocals, they've got different prices on top of what
Yes.
the frames are.
Yeah. But if you just want a pair of bog standard crafting glasses that you can put on and do close-up work, you can get a pair for £15 from them.
I reckon I walk in there and they think, well, mug, and silly me pays the price.
Yeah, well, make sure you tell them you're on benefits.
Missy, you don't get.
No, they don't. They don't volunteer.
Do they give you a form to fill? Because you should. There's a question
We're
on
over
there that
60
asks
anyway.
if you're on benefits.
All you have to
and,
do is give them what benefits you're claiming, name and address, and that, and they check to make sure that you qualify for the vouchers, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to fill in any forms or anything.
Oh, okay, right. Looks like I'll be going into Specsavers sometime soon.
So if you've been paying for yours through the nose for the lenses and the frames, you could go in now and claim your vouchers and get another pair made.
I think I'm going to. I mean, the other thing I have done is because my prescription is so strong, I have the lenses thinned down so they fit in the frame. Because otherwise they'd be so thick.
Yeah,
that
don't
could be
they
why
charge
you're
extra
paying
for
then.
that?
I was going to say that's something you.
Yes, it is extra. Yes.
You
Yeah.
get like 70 quid's worth of glasses on your thing, so you can have two pairs, readers and long distance.
Yes, I've got readers as well.
Or one pair of bifocals. But if you want anything else on top of that, it's going to cost. So
I'm not. I really don't want to. I really don't want to tell you how much I paid for these glasses and the readers.
Because these wire frames, because I couldn't afford, I didn't want them to like slim the lenses off. I've got like chunky lenses in each side.
Yeah, that I have mine thin.
I
have mine thinned down.
But at the end of the day, you know, I can see better than I would without them.
Well, yeah. If you need them, you need them.
Yeah.
I couldn't cross the road without mine.
Pair, but then I ended up needing them. I mean, all them pairs I've got everything from a focal length of 1.5 feet up to infinity for driving. They're difficult, but because of my polycythemia, the focus in my eyes changes regular. I mean, I can sit here now, it'll be changing all the time while I'm looking at the screen. And that's why I lose concentration on the chat and that. And when I'm
Does that
tired,
not
like
drive you mad, Roger? Does that not drive you mad? That your focus is...
and it gives you headaches as well. And they're constantly watering.
Excuse me.
And as you get older, your eyes take longer to go into focus anyway. Even when you blink, it takes a bit longer for the focus to come in. But mind you, it don't help because I've been up since 1:30 this morning, so my eyes are like I'm trying to hold them open as it is.
Help, does it? Doesn't help at all.
No.
Yeah, I've been tired all the time. That doesn't help us at the eyes either.
Oh, it's an absolute nightmare.
Right, I know as we get older, people say, "Oh, we don't need so much sleep," but I find that if I go to bed too early, I am awake early. So that's why I go to bed late.
I'm the same.
Because otherwise I'd be awake at 4 or 5, and I don't want to be awake at 4 or 5. So I don't go to bed or I don't consciously try and go to sleep until between 12 and 1, and then that means that I wake up at sort of what I call a decent hour, like maybe 8, 9, or 10.
I get tired at about 9 o'clock normally, and that's when I go to bed because when I'm tired, that's the only time I can sleep. So if I go up at 9, I might get 2 hours sleep, and then after that, I'm awake again for the rest of the night.
It's so difficult, isn't it? Because sometimes I feel like an afternoon nap, but unfortunately, if I have an afternoon nap, even if I'm really tired and I'm struggling to keep my eyes open, I end up having a nightmare.
I have to have an afternoon nap. I have to sleep 2 or 3 times through the day when the fatigue kicks in.
I know, I agree, but I'm too frightened to. If I can possibly keep awake, I will, because I know that I will have a nightmare. So,
no, I can't do it with the ME. See, when the fatigue says you got to sleep, you got to sleep. It depends what I'm doing.
So for night terrors, Lizzie?
I've always had nightmares, even when I was a child. So it's nothing new, but it's not pleasant. I'll be honest.
I
don't have them. I am one.
We know.
I'll agree there.
We know. You're going back in the back. You're going back in the back room for a minute. Bye. Catch you later.
It's one way of dealing with them. Bless.
Yeah, he sleeps all the time. If I go for a nap, it then knocks over into my evening, and I can't go to sleep because he'll leave me to sleep. I'm going up for an hour. Next thing I know, it's like 10 o'clock. I've been asleep for 4 hours, and I'm not going to go to sleep. I'm now awake.
I can't. I wish I could just nap for an hour, but I can't do the hour thing.
If I do it, I'm going to have to start setting an alarm so that I do only lie there for an hour. But chances are I won't go off to sleep. I can't nap in a chair. I can't sleep in a moving car or on a train. I have to be lying down in the dark. Can't nap in a chair.
I can power nap in the afternoon for about 10 minutes.
Oh God, no! I wish I could, but I can't.
No chance.
I drop off without knowing, because I'd be watching something on YouTube, and then I'll drop off without knowing, and then I'll wake up at the end of the video, and I feel better after that.
Oh,
but at night, once I wake up to go to the toilet or something, I have difficulty getting back to sleep.
Yeah, that's part of my problem as well. I'm up 2 or 3 times during the night
Yeah.
because of old age.
Well, you know what? I'm so lucky, but I think there's partly reasons to do with that. You see, once I'm asleep at night, I sleep through the night. But I still believe that, all right, this could be a load of old rubbish, but you ladies that have had children have learned sort of that you've had a period in your lifetime where you've had to be sort of on alert, as I call it.
Yeah.
Whereas I've never
Yeah.
had that. So once
Yeah,
I
I
go
know what
to
you mean.
sleep, so once I'm asleep at night, I do not wake up, and I always make sure I go to the toilet. So very, very rarely will I wake up during the night to go to the toilet. But I also think it's because I've never had to be on alert, if you like.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Could be, yeah.
That's a very good way of looking at it. That
Yeah.
you ask most people over a certain age, and their bladder gets them up 2 or 3 times during the night. It's not noise. It's not nothing else. It's just you've got to go.
Yeah. And it's usually when you've got comfortable in bed as well.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
you're nearly falling asleep and you're comfortable, and then that thing goes knock, knock, knock on your bladder, and you're like, shit, gotta go.
Well, I get to the point where it's like you can start to feel it brewing, and you're still awake, and you're like, do I go to the toilet now while I'm still awake, or do I carry on and hope that I drift off, knowing damn well that in a couple of hours I will be awake because I will need to go to the toilet. And I've kept myself awake all night.
Yeah.
Really? He'll say, you were asleep, and I'm like, no, I wasn't.
There are the very rare occasions when if I get comfortable and I feel like I need to go to the toilet, I'll just fall asleep anyway. Wake up and I'll be in pain, but it would have been worth it. It would have been a nice sleep. But then again, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah. But it depends how long it is that you actually sleep for. Because I find that if I'm not careful, I end up lying there for 2 hours trying to work out whether I should go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Anyway, 12.
Well, on the plus point, I'm going to give the jewellery a rest for a while and concentrate on, I do models with Fimo Paul McClay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Make round jars, make like little fairy houses. So
those would go down well at your stall.
Pardon?
Those sort of things will go down very well at your stall.
Yeah.
Something like that. And fairy doors.
I love those things. I think they're so sweet.
Yeah, they take ages to make though. It depends.
Sorry, Jenny, you posted something on Facebook and there was this sort of outdoor cabin type thing, and you said you put something like, oh, this would be really nice for a craft room. And I agree with you. I'd love to have, if I had the garden and the space and all the rest of it, and the money, I'd love a little cabin out there to do. Oh, did you make that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Found it the other day.
I'd love to do all things like that. I just don't have the room or the
easy to make.
money, or
I don't have the patience or the skill.
Well, you're right. I don't have the skill.
You know what? All the crafts I do, okay, so I could crochet and I could do some arts and stuff like that. But the other stuff like jewelry making, the models, decoupage, I mean, hang on a minute.
Doesn't this all cost a lot of money?
No, it
Because
doesn't.
it must do with all the materials.
It depends on
It-
how much you spend. That
Oh,
just
well, that's
wall paint.
nice.
It's just wall paint and serviettes. That's what that print is serviette.
I'd love to do all that.
And you can learn it off YouTube. That's where I learnt it. And this.
Just
I'm
seems
always looking at crafty things I can make.
I always think it must cost a lot of money.
It depends on what you do it. That is nothing. It's just
Oh,
like
okay.
napkins and wall paint. You know those little pots of
Yes,
wall paint.
I'm I roughly. What do they
One of
call?
them
What are
from
they called?
eBay glue.
Was it mooge or
Matchbox.
moo? No,
Yes, that's it.
mooge or moop or something. Mooge.
You know the Dulux things. All paints have them, don't they? The little swatch. Is that what you call them?
Testers, like little tester
Yeah,
pots.
Yes.
testers. Yeah, that's what I use.
I've got a friend actually who she lives in Essex. I've known her for years. I've got to go and see her before the end of the year. I must do. And she's got like a big shed in her garden, and she does. I mean, she's painted for years. I mean, I'm not saying she's like Picasso or anything, but she does all her painting out there and everything. It's lovely. And when I go, well,
Yeah.
when I haven't seen her for a few years, but if I go and see her, like, she'll give me a little canvas and I'll just doodle away. Not that I know what I'm doing or I can do anything, but it's quite therapeutic, you know. I have done
Well,
a bit of painting, but it's no skill, you know. It's no skill.
yeah, I'm looking into resin art at the moment.
You're looking into what? Sorry,
Resin art.
I don't know what that is. Resin. Oh, resin art.
Resin, yeah. Yeah, and to make like little ornaments and things like that. Or dome. Because I make jewellery with polymer clay as well. I dome them with the resin.
Okay, you've lost me a bit, but it all sounds very skillful.
No, well, when you're doming a piece of jewellery, it's just, like putting a piece of glass, like doming them with a piece of glass.
You do it back to front when you're using resin. You start off with the clear in the mold, and then you put what you want in there as your image, and then you put your background color on, and then you tip it out, and you've got. Because I used to do it as a kid.
Yeah. Well, I've not used epoxy resin, but I've used UV resin, which is easier when you're doming jewellery. So, yeah, all it is like a background with a glass. It looks like a glass thing over it, doming it.
You ladies are far more skillful and far more knowledgeable than me.
Well,
Oh
like I
no,
said,
the things
YouTube,
I
loads of
churned out were
tutorials.
rubbish.
Loads of tutorials.
I don't think I don't think you can say that, Heather, because I don't think anything that anyone produces is rubbish. It's whatever you produce, you produce. I don't think it's rubbish. I don't think you should.
The thing is, I had this kit as a kid. You get your box and you've got some shapes that you can build it, and you've got some clear resin, and you've got some colours that you mix in, and you can create. And my problem was I didn't have the right mind frame to go. I could put pressed flowers in there, or I could do this, or I could do that, and yeah, it was all a bit lame. So, because didn't have the right ideas.
When I was a child, Father Christmas used to bring me these. They were birds, and they were made of plastic and a bit like an Airfix kit, I suppose, that kind of thing. And then you used to put the bird together, and then you used to paint it. And it was quite
Yeah.
a detail. Once you'd painted it, it was quite detailed. But I used to love doing that with my dad. I always used to get a different bird every year.
Yeah. Have you still got them?
No, I don't know.
Mm.
I mean, they could be still up in my parents' loft for all I know. But I haven't found them. We've done a bit of clearing out, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something, to be honest, that you would necessarily keep, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's just something I did as a child. But I'd love to have the enthusiasm, the money, and the skill to get into something again.
But it's finding something that you want to do as well.
Yeah.
There you go. Make your own resin coaster set, £7 from the works.
Yes. Yes. Or was it bookmarkers and stuff like that? I've got a mold for tic-tac-toe.
There you go, Lizzie. That's how expensive it is to do something.
Oh, okay. All right. That's doable.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can use the coasters afterwards as well.
Well, exactly.
Make them as gifts. Special
So-
gifts for Christmas.
Oh, I was going to say, everyone's going to get a coaster now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's what's that word? Bespoke.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they'd be terribly bespoke and unique. Everyone's
Definitely.
got to treasure them forever.
Yeah. Well, that's
And then
what
obviously
it
they'll
is
be
with
worth a fortune when I'm dead.
That's what it is when you give handmade. When you make stuff, it's unique.
Oh, I think that's the best thing you can do for someone. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it is. If you make them a gift, I think that's got more, personally, I think that's got more value than
Yes.
going out and spending 70 quid on a coaster set. I'd
Yeah.
rather have a coaster that, being serious, I'd rather have a coaster that someone's made for me than buying me a £70 coaster set. I wouldn't give you a thank you for it.
Right,
Yeah.
Lizzie, I expect next time we're on to hear from you. You've been to the works, because you can do rock. You've got rock painting. That's 2 for £12 or 3 for 15. You've got the make your own coasters. You've got what else is there? What else?
I'd love to do the rock painting, because like with the dots thing, but my hands just not that steady.
No, this is just what the kids do. These are for the kids. They're designed for the kids. There you go. You go out and find your own pebble. All it is a box of paint.
Well, there we go. If a child can do it, I'm sure I can attempt something.
And you can do it on Christmas baubles as well. Make your own designs.
Yeah.
And there are some lovely designs you can make on them.
Oh, years ago, I used to make, very many years ago, when I actually did Christmas, I used to like making my own centerpiece for a table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to go to Hobbycraft, and I'm sure I still have it. I think I lost it, but I used to love making things I'd do that now if I had a family and friends, and I was hosting and all the rest of it. I love doing all that centerpiece stuff and all that kind of thing, and even I'd do a Christmas wreath, and I love doing it. I just don't do it because I've got no reason to do it. If you don't, I haven't really done Christmas for nearly a decade.
Yeah.
It's not out of choice. It's not that I'm grumpy. It's just that it just hasn't. It's just.
Yeah.
No reason to do it.
Don't go any further. It just hasn't happened. I wish I could get out of doing Christmas, but Sir downstairs insists that we have it at our house. So,
Well, I'm hoping that I'm actually going to go. I'm hoping if we can remain on terms, that I may go and see my sister for Christmas. So I'm
that'd be
hoping.
nice.
Yeah, it will be nice, to be
It will
honest.
be nice.
so you've got to get doing the craft work. You've got to start
I know.
making
Right, so what's she going to get? She's going
resin
to get.
coasters. You've got to start doing
She's
something.
going to get a coaster. She's going to get a pebble. What
Yeah.
else is she going to get? A Christmas bauble.
Yeah.
Make her a Christmas stocking. Crochet it.
Do you know what I did actually? Not so long ago, but it was a bit of a. To be honest, it was a sorry looking specimen, but I did try. I can't even remember if I put anything in it.
Make something else.
No,
You've seen those little stockings that I've made with beads, yeah?
No.
Hang on. Yeah, I've put it on my Facebook page.
Yeah, but I obviously probably don't get everything you put on your Facebook page, Jenny. Or
I was going to say, Jen goes through moments. Let's see if I can find it, Jen.
Yeah, okay.
Search Facebook.
We've only recently been on Facebook, haven't we, Jenny?
True, that's
as friends.
true.
So
yeah.
So are you into Betty Boop then, or Betty Boo, whatever her name is?
No, I'm not. But I just see those things and I think, oh, that's cute.
Oh, I can't remember what's her name. Betty Boop. Betty Boo. I can't remember.
I haven't seen a lot of these. I really haven't. I've just seen a guy going round a pole.
I can't check it because I'm on my phone. So if I'm doing it, I can't go out. I can't even see the chat.
I'm scrolling, but like I say, Jen, I either get inundated with what Jen's posted, or I don't see any of it for weeks. How long ago are we talking? I seem to have been scrolling for a week, and I've only gone 2 days ago.
Oh, last month. I'll go and get one.
Yeah, it might be quicker.
I like that light thing that Jenny's got in her next to her settee.
The shelves.
Yeah, I don't. It just. Oh, maybe it's shelves, and then she's just got a light put on it.
I think that's a shelf with a couple of lights.
Oh, okay.
And yes, I like the top one because it's.
Oh, it's colour changing.
Yeah.
I've got one, but it doesn't really. It was supposed to be a diffuser thing that you put oils in it, but I've never really done much with it. It's certainly not as bright as the one that Jenny's got, because the one I've got, you have to, for it to be that bright, you'd have to have the lights off. Oh, that's lovely.
It's difficult to say how much light Jen's got in the room anyway. She's going to turn up with it just as I find that picture.
Of course. Oh, that's really sweet. That's really clever.
Yeah, it hangs off the tree. And it puts
is it like a tree ornament? Oh, that's really nice.
They take a long time to make. It's only 4 by 3 inches, but it takes a long time to make.
Wow, you've got a lot of talent there, Jenny.
Oh, thank you. But if you were to master the stitch, which is easy, you could do something like that.
I'm sure I could, and I need to get into doing something.
Yeah, it's a peyote stitch, it is. And I mean, you can make lots of things with it.
We were just talking. Oh well, I mentioned is that shelving behind you, Jenny?
Yeah.
With a light on it.
It's a salt lamp.
It's very bright, the one at the top.
Oh, it's one of them. Oh, what it is, it's one of them light pads. And I put a selenite on top.
You lost me, but there we go.
Selenite is a crystal. And it's in
Oh,
a
okay.
cone shape. And I put it on top of a light pad. It changes
Okay.
colour.
So you've got a pad that changes colour, and then you've got it shining through a crystal, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense, Liz?
No. No.
You can get these things.
Look, I'm really sorry that
This
I'm
is
so
a charger
an
thing.
idiot.
You can get things like this that light up.
There's the selenite.
All right. Okay.
And there's the light pad.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I've no idea. Maybe you can. We can hook up at some point, and you can let me know where you get them and that.
Well, I got this at the range, but you can get them online, get them on Amazon anywhere.
Oh, we've got a
Okay.
range down the town. I'll have a look in there.
Yeah, and this I just got from a craft fair. No, one of them psychic fair things.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay.
Anything that will affect the light would
Any
work,
crystal. Yeah.
as long as it's basic quartz or glass.
Yeah.
Not as effective, but glass works.
As long as it's see-through and not opaque. Because it wouldn't go through opaque. Opaque is a solid. Like that.
Yeah.
Solid silver like that. It
Okay.
wouldn't go through that.
I'm sorry. I've been so isolated for the last 10 years that this is sort of the most interaction that I really have with anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of, yeah, of course I go on the internet, of course I look at things and whatever, but it doesn't really take the place of human sort of interaction.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's why
But
I've
it's
always
nice.
said we're here.
Yeah. It's nice that you're getting involved. And we can have a friendly chat.
Well,
Roger's got my crystal ball.
Can you do me a reading, Roger? But where's the head staff, Roger? What can you see in my
Literally,
future?
all I do is shine a changing light colour through the crystal ball.
Oh, okay.
And that came off of a cheap, nasty Christmas decoration. Decoration got broke, but I saved the light. It just plugs into the USB. You put it behind the ball and it just changes colours.
Oh, it's
the
lovely.
crystal ball's got a flat bottom, so won't sit on there properly.
No, you just lay it behind it. It reflects through it.
So what can you see in your crystal ball, Gypsy Rose?
It depends which way I look. If I look that way, I see a load of balls.
I should have known.
Oh, Rolex.
Rolex?
Yeah.
Why, they get attached to your boat? right.
yeah.
You can drop me down again now if you want.
Hi.
Yeah, Lizzie. Go on.
I love having that power. I love having that power. Bye.
Would you like a moment to think about that decision, Heather? Or was that,
I'd love to be able to do that in real life.
Remote control on,
Yeah.
off.
Volume. Today I was just about to go shopping and he gets his phone call from the doctor. Now, I'm not going to leave while he's on the phone call. I don't go anywhere while I'm on the phone call.
Sure.
So while he's doing that, I've got my shoes on, I've got my bag ready, I am sorted, I'm good to go. And I'm like this, trying to get out of the chair. And he starts talking to me about something. I can't remember what, because I wasn't listening. Because I'm like, I want to go shopping. I wanted to be able to, goodbye, at that point there. But no. His other favourite time to do it is when I go, just need the loo. Hasn't spoken to me for an hour. But now suddenly he's just remembered something he needs to tell me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sometimes living with people can be more of a nuisance than it's worth.
Don't get me wrong. I have lived with men. That's probably why I don't now. But
I was going to say.
yes, I have lived with men. I've been engaged. But,
I did not think you had lived a totally solitary life, darling. We all go through our phases.
Oh, absolutely not. But do you know what? Without wanting to sound a bit funny, I was never short of boyfriends. Don't get me wrong.
Well, why would you be? You're a lovely looking lady.
Yeah.
Well, but I've lived on my own for 20 years, and I'm not actually that old.
Don't me
I'm
when
not
I
young,
pay you a
but,
compliment.
I'm older than you.
but no, I'll tell you what. The experience I've had with men, my God, I've lived on my own for 20 years. There wasn't much, I didn't really choose to be this way.
I was on my own for 9 years before I got together with Roger. And I mean, we told you the story. Neither of us were looking. It just happened. And he thought, hey, I'm onto a good thing here. And so I haven't been able to get rid of him.
But you know what, Lizzie? I was with someone for 13 years. And most of that 13 years, I felt lonely anyway. So there's no difference to me being alone now. I think it's worse when you feel when you're with someone and you feel lonely.
Oh, absolutely. There's no point if you're in a relationship like that.
It wasn't for the whole 13 years.
Sure.
It was for the time we were married. Because we were married for 8 of them years. And it was just like, that's when got lonely. He did his own thing.
And I think this is part of the problem. If you have nothing that you do together, I mean, we spend 11 3/4 months together, and the only time we ever go and do anything together is when we're on holiday. The rest of the time we do our own different thing, and that's where YouTube comes in, because it's one thing that we both share. But yeah, we haven't really got hobbies and things that we do together, and so it's not that I'm lonely, but you can get like that. You can get that. Actually, I want some conversation. I want to talk to somebody other than my partner, because we've got nothing to talk about anymore.
Mm.
Everybody gets like that after a while, after they've been with somebody for a while.
Do you know, even 20 years ago, I didn't want to become, and I've obviously seen it now, you know, for some reason I thought, I didn't want to become a sort of a person that got married in their 20s, because I knew that by your 40s, you'd be going through a divorce.
But that's what you saw around you.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm sorry, I'm not saying that is the world per se, but
No. And what I'm trying to say is, you live your life on what you see. My aunt, I think we were talking about this last week. My aunt said, "Well, why didn't you go to university?" I said, "Because women got married, had children, and brought them up. Why would I
Yeah.
want a career?"
Yeah.
Because it's what I saw. It's what I thought was expected of me.
yeah,
And the families around me, they were all happily married couples. Nobody was a divorcee.
mm,
Nobody was going through
yeah,
any of that, because, and this is all down to my age, and because in the 60s and 70s, it just wasn't happening.
No.
You were
I
either
remember
into your
that.
free love and not married,
yeah.
and one of those people your mother didn't talk about, you know, or you were happily married and didn't have careers. Didn't have
You see,
careers.
my parents were married for 53 years when my father died, and there was no question ever of any affairs, or you know, they you just didn't do that.
Nope.
And from the people that I kind of remember growing up, the only time they ever got with another partner, and I'm talking about maybe adults and me as a child,
Yeah.
the only time they ever got another partner was if unfortunately one of them died.
Yes.
It was there. Maybe there were affairs, maybe there were, but it was never anything I knew about. So it wasn't that I grew up in a situation where there was affairs or wife swapping, or obviously I wouldn't have known anything about that in those days.
But at some point you saw somebody go through a relationship breakup, or you wouldn't have thought that you were married and then
well, no, I think I was put off it with the. I think the problem was maybe I had some idealistic view that you stayed with someone,
yeah.
whatever. And I bought my own property, a flat. I mean, it could have been quite a nice. It was a 2-bedroom flat. It had upstairs. The upstairs was actually in the loft. I mean, it was in a very old building. And I actually got a mortgage with this guy. I mean, why? I've no idea now, but I did.
Because it's what you did.
And he was as nasty as hell. He not only did he have affairs, but he was pretty handy with, a domestic violence situation, all the rest of it. So it put me off men. So even though I've grown up in this environment that men weren't nasty and all the rest of it, I mean, I didn't, all my relationships seem to have shown me the other side of things.
Yeah.
So I've gone from having this quite idealistic view of men and relationships and marriage, and then when I got out into the world and started having relationships, I got shown a completely different side of it. And by the time I was 30, 32, I thought, well, had enough. I'll do it on my own. Because you can only give so much.
Yeah.
You stop trusting and you stop. And I thought, oh, this is ridiculous. And obviously, and I don't mind saying this, but obviously not being able to have children, you're not really a catch, and you're not really sort of in the queue of women to become to sort of have a long-term relationship with a man. So I just decided, well, I'll just do it on my own. And I did.
And that's where I
That's
got
funny,
to.
though.
And that's where I got to. I've gone through everyone I pick is a waste of time for whatever reason. And I'm better off on my own. I'm happier on my own. I could go and see my daughter when I wanted. I could eat when I wanted. I could spend the evening round there if I wanted. It wasn't about coming home and cooking tea and all the rest of it. And as I say, it just happened for us. But
When you weren't expecting it.
Yeah. And yeah, I understand where you are. And there's quite a few people out there that are in a similar situation and would love to have somebody, but actually no, they don't want somebody, because that's too much like hard work. And unless you get the right one and the right partnership and you become the team that works, you end up, and I've heard a lot of girls say this, fellas are looking for another mother.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
They want somebody to cook for them, clean for them. What is it now, babe? 15 years we've been together? Something like that. I can't see if he's nodding, or I'm useless with dates. It's about 15 years. But we don't do anniversaries, don't do things like that. It's it is what it is. Oh, I've got it. I know where I might. I know. Let me see. But if it doesn't work, if they just, like I say, want another mother, there it is. That's never going to work for anybody. Let's face it.
Oh, I think. Oh, sorry. I went off then. I put the. Look, I'm getting feedback. I think.
You're on and off. Right, hang on.
I'll go away and
You're
come
in
back.
twice somehow. You've managed to get yourself logged in twice.
Right, I'll come back.
Oh, my life. I seem to have downloaded half of YouTube. Camera. No, it wasn't on the camera. There we go. 12th of August 2009 we met. My Facebook post, soppy as it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's the
Bring
day.
it back up.
That's
12th
the
of
day my
August.
son was 9.
12th of August 2009. Went out at 10 o'clock for half an hour and I've met someone. Just got back 3:15. Looks a touch of Sean Connery, accent, Cornish pasty, heart, 24 carat. He's older than me by about 6 weeks, recently single, and totally confused by our connection tonight. Going to play it slowly and softly, but calling him and seeing him tomorrow. Cloud9 and sweet dreams tonight.
Were you confused?
Fucking totally. We both were. We both were.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
got
you
it
were
somewhere.
like, what was it?
Oh, hello, you put me
15
back
years
up.
later.
Yeah, I wanted to see if you reacted.
Sorry, I was typing.
I can see that.
Oh, look, I just got an alert to say that you're live.
Yeah, me. But
Okay.
that was a young man that I fell in love with.
Yeah, look at the state of it now.
So yeah, it was 15 years, a couple of months ago.
I was fit and healthy then. She broke me.
Like I said, that was Bryn's 9th birthday. My son.
Oh, that's your son's birthday.
Yeah. And then a year later, my dad passed on the same day. When he was 10.
It's funny how dates within families recur.
Yeah.
My son was born on this, had the same birthday as my cousin's granddad. That side of the family.
Yeah.
I was born on my mum's brother's birthday.
Yeah.
My dad and my nan shared the birthday, so she actually had him on her birthday. But when my mum passed, we found a book with all memorable dates in, and she died the day after her mother.
Oh, yeah.
So,
wow.
But they found her dead in the morning, so we don't know.
My daughter shares the same birthday as my sister. My brother shares the same birthday as my cousin. And my niece shares the same birthday as my auntie. Other than that, I don't know what else.
Oh, when you get into my daughter's half sisters and brothers, it's this birthday shared with that person, and that person shares a birthday with that person, and
yeah,
it'd be interesting to why, but it's strange.
I did start a family tree once.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to bring. Sorry, Liz, I forgot to bring you back up.
That's all right.
Sorry, my darling. It was because I was looking for that post with him.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
It's all right. You're back now. Shall I put you back in the back room again, darling?
He's typing away there. I don't know what he's saying.
I have the power.
I don't know what he's doing.
Sorry, what did you say, babe?
Hey?
What did you say?
I said you can do if you want. I'm actually typing something on Facebook.
Yeah, I gathered you weren't on in the... I'll bring you back up later.
Yeah.
Before keep you awake.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm staying awake.
I was born on a Thursday the 13th.
Roger was born on Friday the 13th.
No. No.
I was born on a Sunday.
Had I been born sorry,
No, go ahead.
had I been born a year later, would have been Friday the 13th. You see what the lottery has put down?
I can't see any of this because I'm on a phone.
I just
Sorry.
put, Roger, is this your harem?
In his dreams, maybe. We have a laugh, don't we?
We have to.
Yeah. So what day were you born on, Lizzie? Do you know?
Well, as far as I know, it was a Tuesday, I think. Well, going back in time and looking at calendars, I was born on a Tuesday
There you go.
evening.
You're full of grace.
Well,
Is that right?
no, I wouldn't say that. But
Monday's child is full of is fair of face.
Monday's, what was it? Monday's child is Tuesday's child is full of grace. Wednesday's child, I can't remember the rest of it.
Wednesday's child has far to go. Wednesday's child is loving and giving. Thursday's child works hard for a living. Friday's child has far to go. Saturday's child is full of woe. But the child that is born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe and good and gay and gets half a dozen rhymes all to herself.
Well, that's a load of old rubbish for a start, isn't it?
Thank you.
No, I didn't mean you, Heather, per se. I just meant the whole rhyme.
Oh, not a problem, Graham. Good to see you. Good to see you as well, Lodge. And Tony and everybody else I haven't mentioned. Roger saying hello to everybody. I know that. So that's it. He's on greetings duty. No, you weren't born in a test tube. You might have been conceived in a test tube, but you weren't born in a test tube.
Okay, right, I've got this right because my head is full of complete rubbish.
Yeah.
Right, there's no prizes, but who was the first person to be born in a test tube? If you can name her name and the year, it doesn't get you anything. But hey, can you remember?
Wasn't
What's
Dolly
your
the sheep?
knowledge?
Don't Google it, Jenny. I can see you. It was Louise. It was Louise Brown.
No. Jenny uses her phone to chat in the comments.
No, she was cheating.
No, she wasn't.
If you say so. If you say so. I was
joking.
totally cheating.
Jenny, I'm joking.
I know.
It was Louise Brown in 1977.
Gordo has said Louise Brown.
Yeah.
Now, why on earth do I remember that? I have no idea. My brain is something that must be left to medical science because it's completely and utterly weird.
I just remember Dolly the sheep. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dolly.
Yeah,
the first clone.
Roger and Graham have just mentioned them.
And I think Dolly's dead, actually.
Yes, she would be by now.
Yeah.
Long time ago. Because sheep
don't live that
long. Sheep don't live that long. Dolly the sheep. I am Googling. 2003, Dolly died. 14th of February. He was born the 5th of July, 1996. There you go.
Second cloned
Oh,
animal was
Dolly
a
had
dog.
to be put down because she had tumours in her lungs. So
I'm
she was
sorry, but the only thing I think that's proved is that, and especially at this point in our lives or our existence, should I say, that cloning is very dangerous because there's certain people in this world right now
Absolutely.
that we do not want to be cloned. One of them is bad enough. We don't want two of them.
Yeah, but they're not going to be around to be a nuisance for at least 30 years. Average lifespan of a sheep is 10 to 12 years. So most sheep are killed about halfway through to about 6. So
I actually was referring to cloning of humans, not sheep.
yes, I know.
Oh,
Like
But you
Roger
were saying
says, Star
cloning was
Wars, the
dangerous.
Clone Wars.
sorry, Jenny.
That's a scary concept, though. Like Roger says, Star Wars, the Clone Wars. It's a scary concept,
Oh yeah.
isn't it? And I wouldn't put it past them if they're doing stuff like that already.
It's absolutely, Jenny.
I mean,
Of
take
course they are. Well,
like
we
the
all,
Android and the AI stuff.
yeah, but even more so. I mean, I don't know whether anyone thinks that this is just a conspiracy theory, but there are people that think that Queen Elizabeth had a clone, Putin's got a clone, Biden's got a clone. We all know some of them have got lookalikes. So whether you want to call it a clone or a lookalike,
They call them doppelgangers, don't they?
mm.
We've all got somebody that looks very similar to ourselves
Yeah.
out there.
But like Roger says, your AI can't be trusted, and I wouldn't trust it.
No.
Yeah, but that's not cloning.
No, but near enough. They could do it. I mean, just imagine cloning and AI fused together.
There's been plenty of times in my life that I've had people say to me, "Oh, I've seen you before," or
Yeah.
and I've never understood it because I thought, well, if I look like someone famous, then I could understand why they might say it. And I do have a sister that obviously looks similar to me, but I wouldn't say she was identical. But people have said that to me. Oh, I've seen you before. Haven't I met you before, or something?
You've obviously got one of those faces. I have. A lot of people say I know you from somewhere.
Yeah.
So pre-YouTube.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pre-YouTube.
But back in the day when I was singing, it was yeah, you might have seen me out at a gig or something. So
have you got any videos of yours? Oh,
no.
that's a shame.
There was one that was done, but it got lost. Don't know what happened to it. And I'm not in touch with the guy that took it anyway, so but every now and again pictures turn up.
Well, many years ago, I was lucky enough, well, as far as I'm concerned, but lucky enough to see Luther Vandross in concert twice in London. And one of those, we got fantastic seats, me and my sister, both times. And one time we got front row seats. How we got them, it was pure luck. And we were walking. I remember we were walking down to the front seats, and everyone's looking at us as though we're celebrities or something, which we weren't, obviously. But can I find a video of this particular concert online? No. And we were like dancing in the front row, well, because if you know what, the front row, there's normally a bit of space between them, the seat and the stage. And we were dancing away, and Luther actually put his hands out to us as though he was acknowledging us.
Yeah.
But do you think I can find a video of this concert online? No.
Not every concert is a
No, I
recording
know.
that be put out there.
But I would love to see it, obviously. I mean, it was fantastic.
Well,
But
Roger used to race used to race cars. I'm going to leave you to that. The brain's having a hiccup. And he's trawled through the videos because there's videos of people he raced with, raced against, so on and so forth. But we cannot find one with him in it. Even though it's like, I'm sure I was at that event, and I'm sure I was at that event, but there's nothing of him. So it is what it is. It is what it is.
it is strange, but I must admit, I would like to see a video of me and my sister dancing 20 years ago in front of Luther Vandross. That would be lovely. But,
It would. It would.
It's raining here
Blast
now,
from the past.
and the wind's picked up.
Yeah, I had a thing come up on my phone saying it's coming across from America and it's going to hit on Sunday.
Or is,
Well,
is it the tail end of that hurricane?
yeah.
I presume so.
Where are you, Jenny?
Pardon?
Remind me where you are again.
Anglesey.
Oh God, I'm going to show my ignorance here. Obviously, I've heard of Anglesey, but I'm not really sure.
Top of Wales.
Oh,
North
okay.
Wales.
Oh,
Northwest.
okay.
The little island on the top of Wales.
Right at the edge.
Oh, well, it's not windy here, but I'm mid-country. I don't think I'm that far away from Roger and Heather, really, in terms of a car journey.
Mm.
I don't even know where you are.
I'm in Bracknell, in Berkshire.
Oh, that's right, Berkshire.
Well, not posh Berkshire. People go, where do you live? I go, depending on who they are, I go, Berkshire. And they go, oh, okay. But then, it's not actually posh Berkshire that I live in. It's just normal Berkshire. It's not Slough, though. That's worse than where I live.
Anglesey is about 50, 60 miles away from Wrexham.
Wrexham doesn't mean. I know it's in Wales, but
no, it's Gordo saying it's not far from Wrexham, and Anglesey is about 50, 60 miles away.
I did go to the Millennia Stadium in Cardiff once. I watched
That's really far away.
Oh, I used to watch the monster trucks.
Oh yeah,
I'd like one of them.
Interesting.
Well, just as a matter of interest, by car, Lizzie, the shortest route is 113 miles.
From where to where?
From us, you are 113 miles away from where we are.
Oh, okay. Now you're somewhere near Birmingham, aren't you?
Yeah, North Birmingham.
North Birmingham, right.
So, yeah, 113 miles. We're not that close.
No.
Really.
What's the distance between Anglesey and Birmingham then, where you are?
Anglesey is
See, I actually think
155 miles.
I think Roger and Heather should do a meet and greet.
151.
I think they should do a meet and greet. and we should have a party somewhere.
Yeah. Take over the Butlins or something and all of us congregate.
Yeah.
A Butlins. There's not much Butlins about now, is there?
Or Haven, or there's loads of them.
Yeah.
I think we should do a meet and greet party, and we should all meet up somewhere.
Yeah, the problem is the nice central place for everybody to meet up is Birmingham, because then everybody's got 100 odd miles to travel. Trouble is, there's no Butlins in Birmingham.
No, but is there a holiday camp there or something? Or a travel lodge? Or somewhere that's safe?
Yeah.
There is definitely somewhere that we need to arrange. I'm not saying the next month, but I really think it'd be great if we could all do a meet and greet.
Gordo, Lizzie said she was in Bracknell.
Well, I'm not. It doesn't matter to me. I can travel.
No. Gordo just said where is Lizzie in Berkshire?
Oh right, yeah. It's only Bracknell. It's not posh Bracknell. I mean, it's not posh Berkshire. It's Bracknell.
And then I've seen Roger's answered him as well. So,
what did Roger say?
Bracknell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gordo's 87 miles away from you.
Where's Gordo then?
Where's Gordo? Oh, Paulette's in posh Berkshire.
Oh.
So it stands a chance Paulette's your closest.
Whereabouts in posh Berkshire are you, Paulette?
If you want to own up to that.
And where's Gordo? And I'm sorry
where's
I'm asking
Gordo?
the questions, but I can't see any chat.
Gordo's in Bath.
Oh, that's Bristol.
Bath. Doesn't matter, he's still closer than we are.
Yeah, but we could still...
Roger's saying he came from posh Berkshire. He came from Abingdon.
Well, that's Oxfordshire. Oh, Oxford.
It's near. Yeah, don't let's not start doing county lines because they keep moving.
I thought county lines was a drugs thing, Heather.
Well, I didn't know what the hell county lines was, and I had to do this thing on county lines, and I was asked all sorts of questions, and I'm like, a county line is the edge of the county. What's all this going on? I had no idea because I hadn't heard about it being used in that form. Yeah, Roger's saying it's Oxfordshire now, but it never used to be. Abingdon used to be in Berkshire.
Oh, okay. I wanted to ask Roger a question.
Baby?
I remember...
Oh, hello.
I remember as a child, right, we used to go past this, and it was really close to this building. And there's this sort of statue thing that rings a bell. And it's in Abingdon.
A Thatchy thing.
A statue thing.
A statue. What was that thing you painted?
Oh, in the town square.
Well, I don't know. I just remember it as a child, and I used to drive past it. And this little boy it's a statue, and it rings this bell. It looks as though it rings a bell. Where am I getting this from?
The only one that I know of that's of any note is the King Alfred statue in Wantage.
It's just something that has always stayed with me.
Yeah, there was no statue of a little boy in Abingdon.
There was a wooden town mascot that was a monk.
Yeah.
No, This
And
was
there was Queen Victoria in the square opposite County Hall.
There was that one.
No,
Oh no, that one, that one wasn't there originally, babe. That's an old one that was put up there.
it was
That's
on the corner
roundabout.
of a building, and you went past it, and you went so close to it with your car, and it was this bell, and there was this little boy statue thing, as though it was going to ring the bell. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I've dreamt it, I don't know.
I can't remember anything like that.
But when you started talking about Abingdon in the past, that always came back to my memory.
Abingdon is a very, very old medieval town. In fact, if you look in the Doomsday Book, it's the first town that's mentioned because the Doomsday Book's in alphabetical order.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's also reputedly where Handel wrote his water music.
Ah.
Yeah, see?
Little Stitch not in. Stitch, I mean.
Yeah,
I haven't heard from Stitch today.
Lizzie was saying there about the borders. They all changed back in the 70s, 80s. Even the very famous Berkshire White Horse Hill. Well, that is now in Oxfordshire, and so is a lot of the Berkshire Downs. They are now classed as Oxfordshire. The most famous thing Abingdon was for is the MG cars. That's where they were built.
You learn something new every day. Thank you, Roger.
It's actually called Abingdon-on-Thames, is its proper name.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, the Thames runs through the, on the just past the town. It's actually part of the town now, but it's where they used to have the big fairs on the frozen water when the Thames used to freeze up.
Oh, yeah.
The last time it froze was, and I can just kind of remember it as a kid. I think it was 1963. Part of it froze in Abingdon.
The only thing I've got coming up, Lizzie, for Abingdon is the Doughboy statue, but that's got nothing to do with the bell.
No.
I've got a vision in my head. Why do you remember these certain things from childhood? I don't know.
Yeah, I was born and brought up in Abingdon. I don't remember any statue of a boy.
It was sort of on the side of a building. It was. I'm gonna have to look into it, and then if I find anything, I'll let you know.
Yeah. There's nothing that there was no bell foundries or anything like that there. There was an old jail, a very old jail. Again, that was on the Thames.
Was it something like that?
No. I can
look,
still
look. You've got to admit, it's on the side of a building. It's a boy with a bell.
Well, that's very good. Yeah, 10 out of 10. I'll try and search back in my memory, but I've got this vision, and we were driving along in the car, and you almost did a 45 degrees turn round this building, and there was this bell and this boy, and I don't know. I've always thought it was Abingdon, and I can only assume I don't know. I'll try and dig it out of my memory, but it's funny that I always remember Abingdon, so I'll do a little bit of digging in my memory and do a little bit of searching on the internet and see if I can
see what Google comes up with.
See what I can remember.
But I took Abingdon out on the principle, even if it was just outside of Abingdon, it might not come up within a search. You know what I mean? And I saw that little fella on the side of that building, and I thought, well, it's a boy that's going to ring a bell.
See, the problem is when you see something as a child, sometimes it's completely different in real life when you're an adult.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe I've got a different vision, but I don't know. But why I would remember it, I don't know.
Gordo, sussed out where you're thinking of. Where's that, Gordo?
Come on, Gordo, help us out.
Was it Gordo that said they lived in posh Berkshire?
No,
Paulette. She lives in Windsor.
Oh, that is posh.
Yeah, don't pay very good wages there, though, do they?
No, I wouldn't want to go and work there. Nice place to live, though.
Well, Charlie's advertising for housekeeper, and he's not even paying minimum wage.
Oh yeah, he got pulled up for that.
But then again, is that live-in?
Gordo says Trumpton.
Sorry, Heather.
Gordo says he's just where you're thinking of. It's Trumpton.
What? Pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert.
Yeah.
I used to love that. And Windy Miller.
Windy Miller is my hero.
And Candlewick Green.
Yeah. Closely followed by the herb garden.
Oh, the herbs, yes. Mary, Mungo and Midge. Going up in the lift.
That was a cartoon, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, going up in the lift. The Clangers.
Yeah, I remember the Clangers.
Yeah.
Dragon and the Iron Chicken.
Yeah.
I think that's where my mates come from originally, the Space Chickens.
I don't know that.
No, they're some friends of mine that used to speak to me.
Oh.
I started calling Roger Bagpuss because he'd sit there and he'd go, ooh.
Oh, aren't you Professor Yaffle, Roger?
No.
The Flumps.
I'm more like the Muppets.
Okay, let's get really old now. The Wooden Tops.
Yeah.
That is before my time, I think.
And a friend before mine.
I can go further back than that. Charlie Lewis and Lamb Chop.
Oh no, I have heard of them. Yes, I remember Larry the Lamb.
Muffin the Mule. We know about you and Muffin the Mule.
You're 90.
She didn't like it.
What about Mr. Ben and his clothes shop?
I used to love that.
Oh, who was on last week? Who saw me say I was going to get myself a nudie thing?
A what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was Holly and Stitch, wasn't it?
Nice.
It's
nice. Warm.
It's huge. That's it, side to side.
Oh, yeah. Holly had one on, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a Harry Potter one.
Yeah.
Heather, has that got a hood on it?
Hell yeah.
Yes, Gordo, the first writing I ever did at school was on the side of the cave.
Do you know, I love that.
It comes down below my knees.
Yeah, my one does. I love burying myself in that. Put the hood up.
What they call
the hood up, I can pull the drawstring and it disappears to...
Is there a special name for it?
What was it? It
or
was
just
called,
an oversized hoodie?
It was called... Wasn't on there. Yeah, something like that.
Now,
Mm.
when Heather wears that hoodie, or whatever you want to call it,
Hoodie.
Roger, and she puts the hood up, and she needs a little bit of tender, loving care.
She just wants to hide.
No, Roger. She needs a little bit of. She needs some comforting.
But no, I serious because I've wanted one for a couple of years, and the problem is when you get them, even the extra large ones, they're only about this big, and by the time I've put that round me, it's full. There's a lot of me that needs covering.
Is it nice and warm though?
Oh yes, yeah. But as I say, I want it, and it's beautiful, lovely and soft.
Yeah, it looks
Lovely
it.
and soft. But I wanted one that was oversized so that I can curl up in it. You know what I mean? I can do the snuggle into it.
Oh, it's lovely.
I've got some wonderful blankets I can snuggle into, but they fall off when you stand up. And I'm with you, Gordo. I want to be 16 again and ruin my life differently because I have different ideas.
Agreed. Agreed.
I think we'd all love to be able to do that.
Oh my God. Going back to
what? I
16
don't think
with
I
the
would.
knowledge we've got now.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to go back to 16.
Why?
Because, like I've said before, I'm living my best life in my 50s than I did in the previous years.
Yeah. But you've just finished senior school.
No, I'm still in school.
No, you have just finished senior school. You're 16.
I was still in school.
Did you go on to do A levels?
No, because of the childhood accident I'd had to stay
You
back
just
a
want to
year.
put that up a minute, babe. There you go, Paulette.
What does that say in the circle? I can't read it.
20 grand a year. I think that is.
Is it living?
Oh,
No.
you can't read it either.
I don't know. It's just something I've seen.
Yeah, you can't read it either.
12 grand a year. Is it?
If it's a live-in position,
That's what I said.
Oh, yeah. If it's live-in, you have to take that into account.
Yeah. And maybe they're just,
Anyway, what were we saying? Oh, yes,
Sorry,
you were playing catch-up because of your accident.
Yeah.
Okay, 18, 19, whatever time it was when you finished senior school. To go from there with the knowledge that you've got now to either go on and do A levels, to go on and do a degree, to do, to go into work, to would you not make different decisions going through your life, knowing what you know now?
Yeah, but then again, my kids wouldn't have been born either.
So
if I'd have done things differently.
So?
Yeah, I'd want my kids.
Well, you can do that part of your life if you want to do that. You can make any decision you like.
I'd want to avoid them. My kids' fathers. I'd want to avoid them, but I'd still want my kids.
That's a bit difficult. I want my kids, but I don't want the sperm donors.
Well, wouldn't that be nice? But if I could go back and not remember anything,
you'd make the same mistakes.
Yeah.
If you didn't remember anything, you'd make the same mistakes. There's every chance you would make the same mistakes.
If you didn't make the same mistakes, you wouldn't learn.
Yes, Roger.
But if you went back, having learnt, to allow you to make different choices.
Well, if I could go back and not remember my kids, that I had kids in the future, well, if I could go back and not remember that I had kids, then yes, I would, because I would avoid.
Well, that's the problem. If you went back and made changes, the kids
Exactly.
would be different.
I wouldn't want any, I don't think.
Yeah.
If I
What you
had
want
the
to do
chance,
is make different choices and make changes, but still have the same result as you've got now.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You could still choose to be with their fathers, but it's difficult if you don't want the sperm donors.
Mm.
If you made changes in your life, you wouldn't be the person you are now.
Exactly. If I could go back and not remember that I had kids, but remember everything else, the kids were wiped out of my memory that I'd had them, then yes.
If I went back and made changes, I probably wouldn't be here now.
Well, that's it. It's a bit like that film, was it Sliding Doors?
Yeah.
If you could go back in time and choose to do something else, like, tell you one thing, when the lottery had been going on a week before its first birthday, I had £1 left. I was very poor, and £1 would do a lot, get you a lot in them days. And it was like, oh, what do I do here? Save this £1, get potatoes and bread, or put it on the lottery, because I did the same numbers each week.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, I'll go and get my bread and my potatoes. I would have won five numbers and a bonus ball came up.
Yeah, me too. I was in a hospital bed, and a nurse went past, and she said, "Do you need anything picking up?" or words to that effect. And I said, "No, I was going to ask my mum to get me a lottery, but I forgot about it. But it's all right. I don't do it every week." And she went, "I'll get it for you if you want me to." And no, it's all right. Honestly, darling, don't worry about it. I don't know whether I've got any change, whatever. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
And yes, I sat there and watched my son's birthday, my daughter's birthday, my birthday, the house number, my mum's birthday, and it's like, for frig's sake.
Yeah. I went on a scratch card binge for a few months after that, and I didn't win a lot.
Just to go back and change that decision would be amazing.
It would be that was a sliding doors moment, wasn't it?
What was
My
that film
sliding
called,
door
babe, that
moment.
really screwed my head up? Prediction or something like that, where the main character progressed back through their life and led another life for a short period. Preconception.
Don't know.
I can't remember the bloody name of it now.
My sliding door moment.
Premonition, something like that.
Don't know. Maybe
I just googled it and nothing's coming up with what I can remember. But I remember it was a film. Do you remember I said it? It was a real head fuck because I was absolutely stoned when I watched it. Who was in it? I think it was Ethan Hawke. Let me try that.
You Google it. My sliding door moment was when I left to go to uni on my bike the day I had my accident.
I can't remember the day I had my accident, because to me it was like going to bed the night before and then waking up 2 weeks later in hospital.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember anything about that day at all.
But if you could change that day, that would
Yes,
your life would have been so different.
Yeah.
As would mine.
Well, I think if I hadn't had that accident, I'd be totally different, obviously. But maybe I'd be a bit of a bitch.
Why?
Who knows? I don't know.
And let's face it, if you were a bit of a bitch, would you give a damn?
Evening Panda. Predestination.
Predestination. I've not heard of that film.
No.
Oh, it was weird.
Try watching The
Absolutely
Matrix
weird.
stoned. That's a right head fuck.
Oh, there we go.
I understood The Matrix.
Oh yeah, but try watching it stoned. It's a right head fuck.
You can't do that after the event if you understand what was going on. I can't remember who I was watching it with, and it was like, what the fuck is that all about? And I'm like, well, this happened and that happened and this is there, and they couldn't even understand my explanation. But no, I was there.
There's something weird going on with typing on here. It's like a delay.
Oh dear. Computer's doing something.
No, it's not the computer. I think it could be YouTube.
You're on StreamYard, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, and you're moaning that your computer's not typing 20.
Well, it doesn't normally do it. Put it that way.
It's just doing something. Calm down.
Well, why isn't it doing it on Facebook and anything else I've got open then?
You're glitching. So it's doing something. Your voice is glitching.
Where's Lizzie gone?
Who?
Oh, she's back. Here she is.
Nice
Sorry,
picture.
sweetheart. I didn't see you. No, she's gone again.
Oh, she's gone now.
Yeah,
technicals, I think.
Yeah.
Technicals. You having technicals there, my love? Lizzie?
Hello. I've progressed to putting a photo up.
Yeah,
Well done.
that's nice. That.
This is a big step for me because I, don't like to see my own face, so I don't like to subject other people to it.
But sweetheart, I told you when you showed that to me that it looks lovely, because that was just after you had your hair done, wasn't it?
It's better than mine.
That's true, Roger.
Well, okay. With what you've got up right now, Roger, I'll agree with you. But well, hopefully it's not. I'm not in the bad. But okay, no, I've progressed one step.
We might get you live on here.
She's done it once.
But you did it,
but it's not in your comfort zone to do it every day, and that's absolutely fine. We've got the same.
I've made a big step to put up a photo, which is
yes.
Look, I know this might seem strange to people and odd, but I do not have a lot of confidence for whatever reasons. We're not going to go into that, but even I'm looking at my photograph and I can't believe that I put that up.
But it's lovely.
It's a big step for you.
But we have this with Stitch as well. And it depends on people's moods. If you're in a good place, you're happy to come up and or have your photo up, or Panda's in the house. But if you're not in that good place, then actually, you don't even want to come in the chat, let alone come and talk. So it's totally understandable that people have different levels of where their comfort zone is today at this moment in time. So whatever you're happy with, Lizzie, you know that. You know that, my
Look,
darling.
thank
You've
you
done
so
well.
much. You know, I'm a grown woman, and you'd have thought I'd have grown out of this by now. But I'm really sorry. So thank you for putting up with me.
No,
Don't
it's
be
not. It's not
silly.
about putting up with you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for
Yeah.
If she
sharing.
can put up with me, she can put up with any fucker, I'll tell you.
Thank you for sharing.
You need
I
the
think I'm
medal.
making it up.
Thank you for not getting rid of my horrible photo, you know, and casting me down.
Hmm.
And as for you, Roger, there's nothing wrong with you.
I don't know. You can only see the outside.
Look, look, I've got a brother, and I've had plenty of boyfriends, and believe me, well, I understand Mrs. Heather. So if I do make a blokey joke, please don't take it personally, Roger. I don't mean to be
It's getting
disrespectful.
more
People
used.
been taking the piss out of me since I learned to understand what words meant. There ain't nothing that can hurt
Well,
me anymore.
if I do make a joke about a bloke, and if I do make a joke about Roger, then please, Roger, don't take it personally. It's not meant that way. It's just having a bit of banter.
It don't worry me,
I
sweetheart.
certainly don't want to be disrespectful to you. I might agree with Heather, and I might have a blokey joke, but I don't want to be disrespectful to either you or Heather.
I'm an ex-doorman. There ain't much insults I haven't heard.
Well, I'm an ex-door woman, Roger, so I do understand. God, do you know what? I've read some things, Roger, from women on various sites recently, and they're like, "Oh, everyone's so what's that word? I can't even say it. Misogynistic."
Misogynistic.
Misogynistic.
Oh, for God's sake! If you'd have worked at Tilbury Docks in 19, what was it, or 2000? I'm trying to work out my age now. The amount of stuff I was the only woman on a shift. If you had to put up with what I did, you needed a sense of humour and a backbone. And all
Yeah.
these women now that keep complaining about, oh, I'm offended. I'm offended. Oh, grow up. Sorry, rant over.
I agree with you.
Oh, for God.
I mean, young men and young women, they're all wusses.
But I grew up loving the fact that when I walked down the street, if the builder whistled, it meant I looked good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I walked into the restroom, if you want to call it that, one night when I was working security at Tilbury Docks, and my supervisor and two of my colleagues dropped their trousers because they thought it was funny. Well, I was a bit embarrassed, I'll be honest, but I just laughed. And
Yeah.
and I've worked in I used to work in IT for a construction firm where back in the day a lot of the men had porn on their laptops. You know, but what I said to these men is, look, I can handle it. It doesn't bother me, but be careful because it's not always going to be the same.
Yes.
You know, I'm not about to start a lawsuit because I'm offended,
No.
but be careful what you do because there is going to come a time where women are going to just start moaning. And I said there will become a time where men are going to be frightened to speak to women because they are going to.
Well,
They're
that
going to be.
time's now, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's
Oh,
only the woke women, isn't it? But you look how many of them now have turned the corner and realise, oh, because of the way we've been with men, blokes don't want us anymore.
Mm.
They bought it on themselves, those type.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Roger.
You,
Oh my
you
God.
set your sights too high, you're not going to find what you want. You don't have to settle, but if you set your sights too high, you ain't never going to be happy because nobody will ever be good enough. If a
I mean,
woman back in the day said to me, you've got to earn 50 grand before I date you, you've got to have a house, you've got to have a nice car, I'd tell them to go fuck themselves.
Who
You know,
earns that?
you take me as I am as a person, not what I've got.
Yeah.
well, Roger, that's why that's why I never got married, because I didn't have that attitude. I wanted to marry for love. I know it might sound a bit corny, but I wasn't bothered about money or assets or anything.
That's why I've got nothing now, because it never bothered me. It was about the person.
Exactly. Do you know, I hate this, right? I'm looking at the screen and I can see my face on it and I hate it.
Oh, stop.
Well, there you go. I've still got a load of debt that I'm carrying simply because I lost my house to a woman.
Well, I'll be honest, Roger, that's another thing that I don't agree with, is that women have always been, and I'm going back 100 years now, women have always been helped and men have not. Men were never helped, even when they went into, I'm sorry to go back a bit, but even when they went into the poorhouses 100 years ago, men were separated from the woman. And also now, men, I mean, forget the priority. We all know the priority nowadays, but I'm just talking about men and women per se. But I was, which I have been, helped by the state, if you want to say that. My brother can't get any help from the state, but he's in no different position to what I am. And it's always annoyed me that why are men, why is there is obviously a men are supposed to do this and men are supposed to do that, and women are obviously deemed as incapable of doing this, that, or the other, so they get helped.
It goes back to the times when the man was supposed to be the breadwinner of the family. The woman's place in the home was to stay at home, cook, clean, and have babies.
Because that's not
That's
what
where that
feminists do.
ideology came from. And unfortunately, when it comes to court cases with divorce or custody of kids, the courts always favoured the mother, even when she was a bad mother. I know a chap, this is going back not too long ago. He had 2 kids by a woman. The woman was a drug addict. She was evil. She was a cheater. She was a thief. He had a home of his own. He was earning good money and said he'd have custody of the kids and he would take care of them. But the judge turned around and said, no, they must stay with their mother. In the end, they got taken off of her and he did end up with them. But the judge, 9 times out of 10, always used to side with the woman. There you go.
Right. Okay. I don't know what that's got to do with anything, but hey, thank you for that, Roger.
Well, it was poignant to what Lizzie was talking about.
Was it? I didn't
Sorry.
think we were talking custody of children.
Sorry, my fault. Maybe I
No,
instigated.
it wasn't your fault. It's what she was saying. The woman was expected to have this role in a partnership and the bloke was expected to have his role.
Right.
And that's
okay.
just how that law started. You know, it was the perception of what a woman does in a relationship in a home.
Yes,
So
okay.
what a bloke does in a relationship in a home.
I was kind of actually sticking up for men.
Yes.
Even though
I was going to say, Jen, things you'll find things are changing.
Yeah.
when it comes to bad relationships, there was always a hostel where a battered woman could go.
Yeah.
But you're now finding that there's hostels where battered men can go.
Yeah.
The things are becoming more apparent to the nation that actually, yes, it's not just women that need these things, it's men as well. I don't know what you're talking about regarding your brother not being able to get help, but it's always worth seeing what's out there in in the subject matter you're dealing in, because things change on a daily basis as to what's available for help and who can help you. The citizens' advice doesn't really exist anymore, but a lot of the
Citizens'
reason for
advice
that,
isn't independent anymore. It's run by the government, and
right,
the government give them rules to set by on what they can
right,
help with and what they can't.
right. The citizens' advice doesn't really exist anymore for being there to help people, but that's because there's an awful lot of other charities and organisations that have come into being because they were needed, and the CAB just did not fill that gap.
There was always refuges where women could meet up and chat and talk, two professionals. The only place a bloke used to be able to do that was with his mates down the pub. And there was no professionalism involved. But that has changed now. There are charities that specifically deal with men and relationships.
Yeah.
You're correct, Roger. There is something called Andy Mann's Club Scotland, which it's not. There are other branches, not just Scotland, and they sort of. It's a sort of modern way, if you like, to be able to meet up, and they do have meetups and whatever. And I think that's great because, I for one have known one woman that has wrecked men's more than one man's life.
Yeah.
And it's not only women that it's not only men. We can all meet a few bad men, but men can meet a few bad women.
Yeah.
And I'm fed up with this sort of it only happens to women. No, it doesn't.
No.
There are some nasty women out there.
But I think the difference is where a woman, might take her a long time to go looking for help. Where a woman is more likely to go looking for help. Men are more likely to go, "There's fuck all I can do about this," and end up on the street.
Men are too reserved over it, and they're too embarrassed to look for help.
Yeah, yes. and they become insular, and that certainly doesn't help anyone.
No, I mean, as Heather said earlier on, I've been single for quite some time. She'd been single for quite some time. Neither of us were looking for a relationship. Neither of us were looking for a partner at the time. We've talked about this when we got together. But once we'd met and got to know each other, we found it just clicked,
I did tell him I was only in it for the sex.
Yeah, you were only in it for the sex. I was only in it because you had a garden I could build a workshop in.
But seriously, love happens when you don't look for it. It is so true.
Yeah.
This is why I've always said, I mean, yes, there are relationships that I've seen work through dating sites and online dating. I've got a very good friend who had a lot of issues with relationships, but the last few years he's been with someone he met online. And they're now living together, and from what I see, they've got a great relationship.
But we said that about the last one.
Doesn't always happen.
No.
Like I say, we met each other. Well, we got introduced to each other just in it. Some of my friends were her friends, as it were. Some of my acquaintances. We never knew each other, but we just happened to be out one night in the same venue. One of our mutual friends introduced us, and that was it.
And let's be honest, we're all old enough to realise that we're not teenagers anymore. And when you start living with someone, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But as we get older and we want different things, like, as in we don't all need to go clubbing every Friday night, for example, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, but there is a lot of tolerance, there is a lot of understanding, there is a lot of, you know, you need to bite your tongue. It's not easy living with someone.
No. Well, I started off my serious relationship life in the wrong way. I was with a girl for a little while. She fell pregnant, but back in the day, I did the most gentlemanly thing. As I was always a gentleman, I married the girl. She only fell pregnant because she come off the pill without telling me. And after we got married, 2-3 years into the relationship, she did exactly the same again. At which point I said, "There is no." I didn't trust her after that.
I'm not surprised.
There's no. I haven't got trust in you, and the biggest thing in a relationship is trust. That trust has now gone, so that relationship no longer exists.
Yeah.
And that was when I left.
The big issue there was you didn't want children, did you?
No. I had a damn good job. I was earning good money. I was into my car racing. I had the money to do it. And then all of a sudden I find myself, I'd already bought my house. But, that's the financial side of things. The longest term relationship I had after that was with somebody quite a few years younger than myself, which came with another set of issues. She was a lot younger. She wanted to go out and party, and I didn't. I was settled. I wanted different things from life. I wanted different things at weekends. I worked hard, so in an evening during the week, I didn't want to go to a bloody club at 3 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to go to bed. And again, that was, I lost my house to her.
Wow.
But that was on a technicality with the solicitors, literally because she'd been paying the mortgage from her bank account. I'd been paying the bills. And at the same time we were together, I was renovating the house because it was quite an old house. Needed totally remodeling, replastering the lot. And I spent a lot of money doing that. But because she could prove she was paying the mortgage, the solicitor said, you might as well just hand it over and walk away, because if you fight the case, it's going to end up costing you more. So I just packed my bags and walked away. So they have the bloody house. And I walked away with the debts that I had. So, and Heather's been through some bad relationships. We've talked about it. We both have. We've both been with partners that have shit on us, cheated on us, ripped us off. So we had quite a good understanding of what it feels like to have it done. So from both points of view, from my side, the male side, and I understood her side from the female side.
So I think we should be thankful that you and Heather have found each other, and you are now in a position to you know, all right, we all know that life isn't perfect, but
Well, we both
yeah,
said
but
if it
you
went wrong,
found
we couldn't take anything off of each other because neither of us had anything at the time.
well. That's not what I meant, but I just hope that you've both found some love. That's what I mean. I know that us women get fed up with men, and I know that men get fed up with women and all the rest of it. But when push comes to shove, I reckon, you and Heather are pretty solid.
I mean, she's
He's
got a
with me
brilliant
because
family.
he's
As
with
long
me
as you,
because I can
as
cook and
long
he's
as
got
you
a
do
shed
it
in
in
the
cold
garden.
weather, then you're pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's got 2 grown-up kids that were grown up when we met, obviously. And Heather's daughter actually turned around one night, and I can't remember who's it she said it to, but she said, in the time that I've been with her mum, I've done more for her and her kids than her real father ever did.
You've never met the twat, have you?
No, because I'd probably knock
There's
the
a
twat
bloody
out.
good reason for that.
Well,
It
we run
wasn't
into
even
your
in-
ex one night, didn't we, in the pub, and I just wanted to go rip his face off
What? Where?
when we was over Litchfield that time.
Oh, that twat. Yes.
Yeah. I just wanted to go over and rip him apart, but she wouldn't let me.
If ever we meet him again, you're free to do your worst.
Yeah, no, I'm not fit enough to do it.
Oh, you're still
I'd
fit
probably
enough to
collapse
do it.
running across the room.
You're still fit enough to do it. I can't remember what I was going to say because you brought that twat into it.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, her father wasn't even invited to the wedding because she didn't want him there. Chances are he wouldn't have come even if he'd had an invite. But
That
even
says
made
a lot, that does.
even made a joke about him in my speech.
Yeah.
Because I made the speech as there wasn't a father of the bride. I made a speech as the mother of the bride. And I said once that she should ask her father to pay for the wedding. And I said, once we picked ourselves up off the floor and stopped laughing. Because there's no way
even her
he'd give me
kids called me
sixpence.
Grandad Gorgeous. Well, the youngest ones did.
Well, they did until you turned into Grandad Grumpy.
Yeah.
Depends what mood he's in.
Yeah, but if I told them to stop doing something, they sat there and behaved, didn't they?
That's
I
where
wasn't
Grandad
nasty to
Grumpy
them.
came into it.
And I wouldn't lay a finger on them for anything. But if I caught them being out of order, a few words were said with a raised voice, and that was it. Right, you sit there, shut up.
And I'm not being funny. That's the way it should be. I do think that. All right, I know it's a bit old-fashioned, but if your elders or your mother or father or your grandparents tell you to do something, you should do it.
Absolutely.
And I'm
Roger had a shorter fuse than me and my daughter, though, so we'd be going, oh, God, they're doing it again. And he'd be like, shut up, I've had enough, sit there.
Well, that's it. You and Donna used to let them get away with a lot. And
That's what I'm saying.
From the outside coming in, I could see they were pushing the limits to see how far they could push it. And Heather and her daughter would let them carry on or just tell them quietly to pack it in. And the kids never used to take any notice. Oh, no, we've been here before. But once I said it, Heather and her daughter would say something a couple of times and the kids would take no notice. And then I used to step in. But they took notice of me. But no, they're great kids. And I'll tell you what, when you look at some of the kids today, I see a lot more respect coming from those than a lot of them. I mean, we live by 2 schools, and I hear what the kids talk about and how they talk when they're walking around outside here. And they haven't got nowhere near the amount of respect as her daughter's 3.
They were drug up proper.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, darling. I was just saying that the kids were drug up proper.
Yep.
Years and years ago, my sister was a sort of she was just a girlfriend of a man, and he had 2 children, and we used to go and pick them up from school, and the amount of children that I saw, they used to kick their mothers. It was disgusting. And these 2 boys that I had some contact with, they actually grew up to be men. Both of them served in Sandhurst, funnily enough, just down the road from where I live now. And one, I don't know if they're still in the army, but we used to pick them up from school, and as soon as one of the things we used to say to them was, put a sock drawer in it, as in, be quiet.
Yeah.
And then I remember being at Mum and Dad's one day, and I opened the door, and there was these 2 young strapping lads standing there, and I went, hello? And they went, you don't recognise us, do you? And I went, no. And they told me who they were, and it was like, wow, unbelievable. But sorry, I've always been on the edge of, I know you guys maybe are not related to your grandchildren or whatever, and God love children, and
Well,
family.
I treat her as
we can't always choose who our family are going to be.
No.
And
No.
my brother got engaged to a woman, a woman who's been on the telly. That's all I'm going to say. And when I went to his engagement party with this woman, I met her brother. I didn't know who he was. I didn't get on with him. We had a bit of let's say we didn't have a joyful conversation, and I had no idea who he was.
You didn't
But
click.
we didn't click. And then I found out who he was a couple of years later. And he was one of the associates regarding the Essex Boys murders. And I'll tell you what, my whole life has been, well, I know some people know I was adopted, but my God, getting to know people and knowing people and being associated with people, no wonder I've got a real problem now. No wonder I live on my own and I don't associate with people because I never know who they're going to be. It's very hard.
Well, when I'll tell you how bad it was with mine, Lizzie, from as early back as I could remember to the day my mother died. My dad died in 2000. My mother died during the pandemic, not of COVID or anything. And there was never, ever a picture or anything that showed that I ever lived or was part of that family.
Oh my God.
Not even my school photo. There was pictures and trophies and all sorts of memories of my sister and my brother.
And they were
There
everywhere.
was never even a picture of me anywhere.
The others were everywhere. Or if it wasn't the other two, it was the grandchildren.
Yep.
There was a photo, as you would expect, like over the fire and on the wall over there. And they weren't. I've got pictures on the wall, but they're not pictures of family. They are artwork that I like. But every picture that was on the wall in that house was a family member. And they were in every room. And there was not one of Roger in any room anywhere.
Yep.
Because he was the favourite.
I was my auntie's and my uncle's favourite. And they used to remark on it that there's never, ever been a picture of me in that house where anybody could see it. Even baby pictures.
I'm really sorry to hear that, Roger. That really upset me.
No, it doesn't upset me. Not anymore. I didn't even notice it until it was pointed out to me when I was in my 20s. It never even crossed my mind.
But don't let it get to you, darling, because we don't let it get to us.
No,
but
it doesn't worry me in the slightest.
We've all had things that we would have loved to have been different.
You know, I said earlier, Roger, that you are surrounded by love. I was referring to Heather. And
her family.
Well, obviously, I can't comment on family because I don't know your family or Heather's family.
And family.
But I said you are surrounded by love because we all joke and we all joke and banter about men and slag them off. But there is obviously love there, and that is what I meant. So I'm really sorry that you.
I'm closer to Heather's family than I ever was to mine.
Roger, we all have banter, especially us women, about men. But and obviously, I'm sure we can banter with you. But
I'll banter with anybody.
Exactly, but oh God, I'll shut up now. I'm getting too emotional.
I was going to say, Lizzie, don't let it get to you.
Yeah, don't let it get to you. It doesn't worry me, sweetheart. It doesn't.
It is what it is. It's all over now.
I'm sorry. I'm a really sensitive woman. Believe it or not.
We know, love.
My mum said to me, she'd say to me, "Oh, you're a silly thing." But I don't think there's anything wrong with being silly or sensitive or kind or caring. I'd rather be like that than a cold, hard fish bitch. You know?
I mean, men are renowned for not showing their emotions in public or airing their emotions. The men has always been perceived as being tough enough not to do that. Well, believe me, I've shed tears in front of Heather.
I can believe that.
You know,
and there's nothing wrong in that.
Can I warn everybody about the latest scam that's going around because I've just received it?
Oh God!
The Home Office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The phone number is a +91 now. +91 is India.
Okay. Here we go.
So I'm going to report that as spam and block the number. Yeah. Right. UK Home Office notice for you. According to the reduction of winter heating subsidies, the living expenses subsidies will be paid as a result of the parliamentary decision. When you receive the information, it means and it waffles on and waffles on, and then there's a link to hit to claim. So yes, it's obviously a fucking scam because the Home Office wouldn't send it from India.
What a joke.
But you've got to apply before October the 19th.
Well, I can go one better than that because I've actually got a shot of it. There you go.
Well, also, have you seen that
Share that one, babe.
the first thought crime has happened?
No.
Oh yeah, is that the
Yes, the first thought crime
prayer.
has been happened.
Is that the silent prayer being criminalised?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's disgusting. That.
Now, how can you prove your thought? How can you prosecute someone for something they've thought? There is no proof.
The case has just been gone into in Scotland, isn't it?
No, it was Dorset or Wiltshire or somewhere South Country.
Well, there's one in Scotland where a person has been found guilty by a judge for silent prayer.
Yes.
They were found guilty.
And
yeah.
it's regarded as a thought crime.
Yep.
1984, here we go.
Oh, that's been in for years now. 1984.
Oh, yeah, but thought crime.
Everybody said it was a prediction. It wasn't. It was a warning, that film.
Yeah.
That book.
How on earth can you prove a thought?
Exactly. There's a video online of the police interviewing somebody, I'll say, on the street. They asked, "Are you praying?" And he said yes. And they actually asked, "Well, what are you praying about?" Now, he said he was praying for his son. Whether, his son had gone or whatever, I don't know. But my reaction to that would have been, my prayers and my thoughts are between me and my God and are fuck all to do with the police. This is how they get you. If you don't tell them, they can't react.
Exactly.
They have no evidence. That's how you beat them.
God.
I mean, I'm not a religious person, but that's
like,
how I would have reacted to them. If I'm praying,
I said to you earlier, Roger, about people being pushed, and that obviously I said I can only speculate as to how this is going to happen. How this is what the result is going to be. But it's if we get into the realms of thought crime, then the reaction is not going to be good. That's all I'm going to say.
The only way they can get you on a thought crime is if you tell them what that thought is. It's something they can't investigate. They can't find any evidence.
No wonder why they want to chip us with all these brain things and I mean, how do we know? And I'm being a bit how do I say this? Now, I know that, like you and Heather, as I understand, I didn't have a COVID jab or anything like or boosters or anything like that. How do we know what was in that? I mean, obviously we already know that, but
we know
you know
now what's in it, but nobody did at the time.
what I'm trying to say is, and this is a bit sort of, I don't know, this might sound a bit crazy, but how do we know that these jabs didn't have any kind of chip
Chips.
in them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is where the conspiracy theories come in. It's the same as any conspiracy theory. It's because people aren't given the information, so they will make their own minds up what it is. That's how conspiracies start.
At the end of the day, if there were chips in them, fair enough. We're the great unjabbed, so it doesn't matter. They're not going to find us. But at the end of the day, they can't do you for thought crime if
you don't tell them.
What you're thinking.
Exactly.
Think of the first words that the police say to you when they read your Miranda rights. You have the absolute right to remain silent. You do not have to assist the police in investigating yourself. If you stay silent, they can't get you on nothing.
This copper that's just been done for nicking the heroin out of the lockup and selling it on.
Cocaine. That was
cocaine. Sorry. One of the things he has been prosecuted for is not giving the police the PIN number to his phone to unlock it so that they could find incriminating evidence.
They can force you to, but only through a court and a warrant.
Well, he's been prosecuted. He's been given a prison sentence for I don't know what 4 years or whatever for not giving them that phone number, that PIN number to release his phone. But so he's never handed it over.
If they had a warrant from a judge saying he had to release it and he still didn't, then yes, he was breaking the law.
Yes, and he's been done for it. And he's been sent to jail for it, but he never gave it up.
No.
Do you know what really annoys me is that I agree. Sorry. Just trying to get my breath.
You keeping an eye on the time, babe?
Yes, dear.
Okay.
I agree that society has to have laws. But what I don't agree with is that laws apply to some people and other people it doesn't apply to. That is my issue. You can be done for a silent prayer, but if you want to shut roads and everyone can bow down and call to prayer, that's fine.
They can only prosecute you for thought if you tell them what you're thinking.
Yeah, agreed. But yet again, it's two-tier law.
Yeah.
Two-tier policing and two-tier law. I'm fine. Well, to a point.
Think about what a fine is.
Law, but it's got to apply to everybody else.
Think about what a fine is. If you get a fine from a court or the police, what does that fine mean? What does that fine mean to you?
Well, it depends what it's for.
No, it covers any fine imposed.
Personally, I wouldn't pay it.
No, what does it? Doesn't matter whether you pay it or not. What does it mean?
It means you've been to court and been prosecuted.
No, it doesn't. It means you can break the law as long as you're prepared to pay for it. Think about it. You pay a fine, you've gotten away with an offence. So as long as you're prepared to pay a fine for breaking the law, you can break the law. So essentially, you are paying to be allowed to break the law. There you go.
Yeah, but how long does that last?
Well, until you've paid the fine.
Well, it lasts as long as you don't commit a crime that's punishable by something more than a fine.
Yeah, exactly. So by paying a fine, you're paying to be able to
Go
break
as fast as you like on the road if you and get a speeding ticket. As long as you pay the fine, you're okay. But then you go too fast and you've got too many points on your license, and suddenly it's not just a fine, you lose your license.
But you don't get a fine. You lose your license. You get imprisoned. A fine
For the first
is a
couple
way
of times, you
breaking
can
the
get away
law
with paying the
legally.
fine.
There you go. But on that, I'm going to drop out, babe, because I am starting to
no
lose
problem, love. I think we've got a busy day tomorrow, so and I need the loo.
And we've
So
got
I think
visitors most of the day, so and we've got a lot to do as before that
I was
as
going to
well.
drop out. So I'm getting tired now.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock it on the head now anyway.
I can last longer on her bloody stream than I can on my own.
That's because I keep putting you in the back room.
Yeah.
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 And the chat hasn't moved in God knows how long, but
we've still got nine lurking.
Yeah.
Good night, Heather. Good night, Roger. Good night, Jenny.
Good night, chat. Good night, Lizzie. Good night, Roger.
Lizzie,
good night,
thank you
Heather.
again for coming in, my dear. As I say,
Thanks,
you're
yeah.
always welcome. Jen, as always, thank you for joining us. Roger,
See you again. See you all again soon.
Yeah, and you. See you on Facebook anyway. On Facebook.
Take care, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Right.
Stay safe, everyone.
Okay.
And,
bye.
Good night.
Everybody in the chat, have a great weekend. And as always, I'll do your one. Stay safe. Stay strong. Stay wicked. No, it's
Can
that
you say
one.
good night now?
Yeah, go on then.
Oh, thank you. Don't only take over, you talk over.
Oh,
thank you all for coming in. It's absolutely wonderful to see you all. We'll catch up with you. Well, Roger will be doing his bits and pieces through the week, I'm sure. And we'll catch up with you on Wednesday for Roger's Live. Same time, same place.
Same back channel.
What?
Same back channel.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, it's go back to the 60s. Same time, same place. Stay safe, everyone. Lovely to see you all. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.